The Briarwood Inn had a reputation. Quiet one. Locals avoided it with half-hearted chuckles and whispered excuses. Tourists didn't notice the glances exchanged when they mentioned its name. It was a place that time seemed to forget, tucked between dense pines and the mist-laced edge of Lake Moreland. Jacob, a freelance photographer from the city, wasn't one to believe in ghost stories. He chased storms, urban decay, and the occasional haunted location for clicks and cash. When a message landed in his inbox with the subject, Room 213 Briarwood Inn, and an attached black and white photo of an antique mirror cracked right down the middle, he was intrigued. The mirror in the photo showed a figure, not the person who presumably took it, but a tall man in outdated clothes, face blurry and mouth open in a scream. No source, no signature, just the message. It's real, they never look away. That was enough for Jacob. Jacob arrived at Briarwood in the early evening. The sky was a smear of orange and purple, with low-hanging clouds threatening rain. The innkeeper, Mrs. Ellery, was a withered woman who smelled of lavender and old books. She gave him a room key without making eye contact. Room 213, she muttered like it hurt to say it. Don't mess with the mirror. He raised an eyebrow. That a rule here? No, just advice. Her gaze, finally meeting his, was dead serious. You'll want to remember it. Room 213 looked like something from a forgotten century. The wallpaper was yellowed, the bed sagged in the middle, and the air smelled faintly of mold. But Jacob wasn't here for comfort. He was here for the mirror. It hung above a writing desk, framed in tarnished silver, and cracked down the center just like in the photo. Jacob snapped pictures from every angle. The glass didn't reflect light right. Even when everything else looked sharp, the mirror showed soft, shadowy outlines. It made his skin crawl. Then he noticed something stranger. The reflection behind him showed the room as it was, but slightly off. The curtains were closed in the mirror, though they were open in reality. The desk chair was turned inward, not outward. And worst of all, there was a shadow in the corner. Long, still, he turned nothing. When he looked back, the shadow in the mirror was closer. Jacob checked the photo he just took of the mirror. It was blurry, but the shadow was there. He enlarged it, adjusted the contrast. The shadow had a head, arms, legs, and something wrong with its face, like someone had stitched over the mouth with dark thread. Then the power cut out. For a moment, all he heard was his own breath and the sudden patter of rain against the window. He flicked on his phone light and swept it across the room. No movement, nothing out of place, except when he glanced back at the mirror. Now the curtains in the reflection were fluttering. The shadow stood directly behind his mirrored self, head tilted, mouth still sewn shut. Jacob spun around. Nothing. He told himself it was a trick of the mind, pareidolia, nerves. He set up his camera to record the mirror overnight and crawled into bed fully clothed, flashlight and pocket knife within reach. At 3:09 a.m., the camera caught motion. Jacob, deep in sleep, didn't hear the faint creak of the floorboards. The mirror pulsed once, like a heartbeat. The reflection of the bed was empty, but in the reflection the figure stood beside it, unmoving, watching. At 3:15 a.m., Jacob woke suddenly wide awake. The air was ice cold. He sat up, breathing visible in the dim light. The mirror glowed faintly. That's when he noticed the mirror didn't show him anymore. It showed an empty bed, and behind that bed, the shadow. He lunged for the camera and rewound the footage, hands shaking. Each frame of the mirror told a different story than the real room. In the next moment, he wasn't sleeping. He was standing, screaming, reaching out for help. Behind him, the figure loomed. He deleted the video. By morning, Jacob wanted to leave, but he needed something more, proof. He grabbed his gear and marched to the front desk. Mrs. Ellery, he said, tell me about room 213. Her eyes darkened. She led him to a locked drawer and pulled out a yellowed newspaper clipping. Local teacher vanishes, room 213, sealed after fourth incident. Jacob read on. The article told of a man named Thomas Reeve, who checked into Briarwood in 1974. He was never seen again. Staff found his things intact, shoes by the door, suitcase packed. But the mirror was shattered, and a single bloody handprint marked the glass. There had been others. 3 disappearances, all connected to that room. They reopened it last year, she said. New owners, didn't believe the stories. Why keep the mirror? No one can move it. Not without consequences. What kind of consequences? She didn't answer. Jacob decided to return to the room one last time. He needed answers or closure, maybe both. But more than anything, he needed proof. Cold, undeniable evidence. Something that couldn't be dismissed as coincidence or a trick of the light. He would live stream it. Let the audience decide if it was real. If he vanished, maybe someone out there would understand what happened. His hands trembled as he typed out the teaser post. Going live from room 213 tonight. The mirror isn't just haunted, it's a doorway. Within minutes, his followers were sharing it across every platform. The post gained traction fast. Paranormal forums picked it up. His subscriber count doubled in hours. The comment sections boiled with theories, some skeptical, others frantic. As the clock neared 10, Jacob returned to room 213 with everything he could think of. Candles for light, salt to form a protective barrier, audio recorders, an EMF detector, even a small crucifix he found in a thrift store on the way back. He arranged the room methodically. Salt circle around the desk and mirror. Candles in each corner, casting long shadows across the faded wallpaper. He placed the camera on a tripod and adjusted the angle until it caught both him and the mirror. 10 o'clock, he clicked go live. Almost immediately, the viewership shot past 10,000. All right, folks, he said, forcing confidence into his voice. This is room 213. The mirror is real. I'm going to document everything, no edits, no cuts. If I'm wrong, call me out, but if I'm right, you're about to see something no one's supposed to. For the first 10 to 15 minutes, nothing happened. The chat rolled by with jokes and taunts. Where's the ghost, bro? Fake mirror for clout? Betty screams at a coat rack. But then someone typed, wait, look at the mirror. The lights are different, more type. Wait, why is the lighting different? Is that a person? Dude, there's someone behind you. Look, bro, move. Jacob felt a chill rise along his spine. He turned slowly, flashlight aimed at every corner of the room. Empty. Silent. But the moment he glanced back at the mirror, his breath caught in his throat. As Jacob leaned forward, his stomach dropped. The mirror didn't show the flickering candles. Instead, it displayed a fully lit room, every bulb blazing bright, even though the real fixtures were dead. And in the reflection, the door behind him was slightly open. He turned to check. The door was closed. Then he noticed it, a figure sitting at a desk. The figure was hunched over, scribbling furiously on a sheet of paper. As Jacob watched, the figure stilled, then slowly, agonizingly, lifted its head and turned toward the glass. It was him, but it wasn't. The eyes were hollow sockets, black as obsidian. The mouth was crudely sewn shut with thick, dark thread. The figure stared directly at him, no, through him. Jacob stumbled back in horror, his foot dragging through the salt circle and breaking it. One candle guttered out instantly, casting the room in a deeper shadow. The chat exploded in chaos. What was that sound? The mirror's breaking. Did you see that? Oh my god, it's moving. Get out, get out, get out. The mirror gave off a low, vibrating hum, like metal under tension. Then came the crack. A sharp, jarring shriek, like nails raking across glass, as a new fracture split the surface from corner to corner. Jacob backed toward the door, heart pounding so hard it hurt. But the knob wouldn't turn, it wouldn't even move. He yanked, twisted, slammed a shoulder into it, nothing. Then, without warning, the power cut out. The livestream screen went black, save for the eerie glow of the mirror. And in the dark, something began to breathe. Then silence. Then the sound of someone crawling along the floor. The last image before the live stream cut out was a still frame of Jacob's horrified face. Eyes wide, mouth open in a silent scream. The camera was later found on the floor, still recording static. Room 213 was empty.